Good evening, bro. Welcome to Jew's Word. This is episode 41. And this episode is about celebrating yourself. It's very important for us to celebrate ourselves. You have to really take time to realize that through the hardships and things that we go through in life, that taking time to yourself, loving on yourself, caring for yourself, that's the forms of celebrating yourself. Going to get your hair done, the small things. Take time to put in the love and the care for yourself, because you have to love yourself or you can love anybody, period. Whether it's friends, whether it's brother and sister, whether it's significant other, girlfriend, whomever, husband, so you may be. So this was on my mind all week. So I really just sat back and I just took notes throughout the week of my thought process about celebrating yourself. What was the build up for me to celebrate and love on myself the way I do? What was the setup and what was the build up and setup for that? What made me want to love myself more? Well, then I took a deep dive back into my childhood. I took a deep dive back into the traumatic things in my life that made me feel like when I got older that I had to celebrate myself more, because I feel like I wasn't celebrated enough, if you get what I'm saying. So this is a few things I wrote down. I said throughout life, we've had hard times from toddler to adolescence. Life comes with twists and turns, ups and downs, beauty and beast-like events, good, bad, and the ugliest times. Resilience, faith, trust, and love keep us going through those times, but we've had to endure pain to remember who we are and who God has made us to be. So, what's up? What's up? How about I said, what's up, my guy? What's up? What's up? Facebook, TikTok, episode 41, Jew's Word. The conversation is celebrate yourself. So this first few sentences I wrote down is about everything that you're going through in life. And it's the resilience and the faith and the trust that got us through those tough times. But we had to find something that gave us peace, though. We had to find something that gives us peace, something that gives us joy, something that gives us love to keep us sufficient in that space of uncertainty. So when you think about it, we had to cling to something. We had to cling to something. And the thing about it is when you know deep down that troubles don't last always, you don't want to go through it. But you just seem to find one thing that keeps your nervous system semi-regulated. You're never fully regulated in those tough times, but you're semi-regulated. So you cling to something. You find a peace. You found the silver lining in every situation. And then you have to also find a lesson in every situation. That's going to help you navigate through those tough times. And when you make it through those storms, you celebrate the small accomplishments. Like, man, I had to fight through this, but look what I accomplished. Hey, I had to fight through this debt, but hey, I got a house. Hey, I had to fight through this debt. Hey, but I got a car. Hey, I had to fight through all of this. Hey, I finally had my first child. I had to fight through this, hey, I finally have a first job. Like the thing about it, like even when you're going through school, I had to go through all of this in school. So now I got my first job in the career that I went to school 9 to 10 years to make sure I completed everything that I needed, So those little things in the middle of the chaos, because chaos doesn't stop. The storm doesn't stop. The storm constantly goes. So that's why you can't wait for the storm to stop to try to have a picnic. You have to learn how to dance in the rain. You have to know how to dance in the rain. You have to. Because life is going to give you so many twists and turns and ups and downs. And you're going to have to find something, because you got to be like water. You got to flow. So the next thing I wrote down, guys, is there are signs of growth, transformation, elevation in a lot of situations. All the bad things. When you look back, it should only be for reference, wisdom, and renewal of faith. In those weary times, remember what God then brought you through. That's the only time you should really look back at your past. if you were using it as reference or using it as wisdom, like, man, I learned from that. I ain't going to be down this road again. You'll recognize it, a similar situation. Because when you go through a situation, God will set another one right behind it just to make sure that you finish and conquer that situation. Yes. You will have the same situation in three different bodies. Three different bodies. I'm telling you. I know from experience, I experienced it. Got out of one toxic situation from another toxic situation. Same situation, different body. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it goes. It said these are signs of transformation and growth and elevation. When you look back at your past, it should only be for reference, wisdom, and renewal and faith. Those weary times, remembering God brought you from and where He's taking you to. Mainly this happens to remember the good, the bad, and the ugly. To remind yourself, be self-aware, and get out of your own way and fight through those difficult times to keep going, because you looking back like, hey, God has brought me so far. So I done went through way worse than this. Let me keep on going. You know, sometimes you have to remind yourself of what you done been through to be like, man, this is light work. Like, let's go. Like, hands down. Like, that's how you have to really look at life. That's how you have to look at situations. You have to look at the cup half full and not half empty. You have to. It's very important that we make sure that we look at the cup in life half full instead of half empty. Like I told y'all back before, when you look at the cup half empty, you're looking at it from a carnal, fleshly mind. If you're going to tap into your spirituality and your Christ consciousness, you have to look at the cup half full, because it's a lesson. Everything is lessons. Everything you go through is lessons. And it's preparing you for where you shift timelines and go into the future person and the person that you're dreaming about, the dreams and the thoughts that you have in your mind and your soul that you pray God about. Like, Lord, these visions, these dreams I'm having, like, that's basically your future self. So these lessons are going to prepare you to get to yourself in the future for the compliments and the promises that He had. But you got to align with God first. Seek ye the kingdom of God. That's what we got to do, y'all, for real. But no matter what you're going through, celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. When you're going through such a hard time, celebrating yourself is important, because I wrote this down. The hard times, the long times, gonna say many nights, crying and just sliding down the wall because of death and grieving and just stuff ain't going your way, man, like punching holes in walls. Like, man, listen, when you make it through those times, this is important, because this makes the celebration so much sweeter. Due to the trials and tribulations, you appreciate the small things more. The things that you clung to in the midst of the storm to keep you somewhat peaceful living in that moment. Faith active and trust God will bring you through. So keep your faith active. Your faith is always going to be active in those times, because you knew you've been through something before this, but you have to hold on to that faith. You have to keep on pushing. You have to keep on, 10 toes down. You have to, because nothing in life that's worth having is easy getting. Nothing in life that's worth having is easy to get. It's not. You got to put in the work. Like, it's a whole journey. You have to strip down for everything in life that you've learned to get to these moments where you can celebrate yourself and be like, dang, I did it. I made another step. Boom. I made to another checkpoint. Boom. Made to another checkpoint. Boom. You're going to go through hard times, but you got to know that you're going to get through it. You have to. I wrote this down also, y'all. I said, enjoy the journey. Take time to smell the roses and celebrate yourself. Encourage yourself, love yourself, embrace yourself. Speak life into yourself, not death. Don't speak life. Don't speak death, speak life. Speak affirmations of yourself. Speak to yourself like, man, we got this. Let's keep on going, big dog. We got this. 2 more days, 2 more days. We got this. What we worried about, we can't fail. You got to talk to yourself. You got to speak life into yourself. Love yourself. Man, the scenic route is there for understanding and appreciating God's work to the quantum level. That's what the scenic route is for. You walking and you seeing everything that God has put together as a whole, and everything goes as a rhythm. Everything is a frequency. Everything goes where it's supposed to go. You look at that and you appreciate the simple things in life. Think about when you go take a walk in the park. That's the most simplest thing you can do, and you appreciate the most simple things by just going and seeing that and just viewing that area. Like, man, this is so beautiful. Just peaceful and quiet. Like, you just be looking around at the scene, looking at the trees, the flower beds, the sun, how it's shining off the grass. Like, you look at all of those things, and those things kind of get you back centered with God. You be like, dang, this is what it's all about right here. You already know instantly. It's all about peace. It's all about peace. Definitely all about peace. Like I said, enjoy the journey. Take time to smell the roses and celebrate yourself. Encourage yourself. Love yourself. Embrace yourself. Speak life into yourself. The scenic route is there for understanding and appreciating God's work to the quantum level. During this time of your life, you realize that we cannot worry about the things that we cannot control. We also will gather everything works in harmony on a high frequency that flows like water. This is including us with our masculine and feminine energy. So everything flows, man. When you take time to really enjoy the scenic route when you're on your journey, everything flows. It's like a frequency. Like Bruce Lee said, water. Gotta be like water. You can't worry about what you can't control. Only thing you can control is your response. The things you put into yourself, the way you can be able to handle that action where you don't have to respond irately. That's why I always tell you, that's why I always say speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil. That's why I said you have to understand that you have to pour into yourself and love yourself. Speak over your life. Speak over yourself. Speak over your kids. Speak over everything. Speak over everything you want to see in your life. Because if you don't speak it, it can't come to fruition. Because think about it. If God never said, let there be light, it will be no light. He spoke it. Even though he is the universe and omnipotent, but he spoke it. So if he had to speak things into existence, we have to speak things into existence. Like, we're made in the image of God. We have to speak. You have to communicate. And how you speak, that's why I say the tongue is a very dangerous weapon, because it can build somebody up and it can tear somebody down. It's very important that we understand we have to control that. Understand we have to control our emotions, but nobody can do anything to make us want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course you're going to get mad, but sometimes you realize that some things ain't even worth it. It says, okay, in order to flow like water, like the late Bruce Lee was teaching, flow through life like water, whatever way life takes you, embrace it, conquer it, and live free. We have to find that beauty in the struggle. That's what keeps us going. Yeah. Embrace the fear. Face fear. Embrace your challenges. Embrace life. Embrace everything that comes your way, good, bad, ugly. Don't get too high on it. Don't get too low on it. You got to stay in the middle. You got to keep flowing. Once you keep flowing, man, like, you're going to have to take it on the chin. You are. Life is going to hit you on the chin. Life is. Life is going to hit you on the chin. And when life hits you on the chin, you can't just lay there. You got to get up. You got to move around. You got to gather your bearings. You got to get yourself together. You got to get back up and get in a fight. You got to. And you learn how to dodge. You got to learn how to bob and weave, stick and move. You got to. Because if you don't, man, life will tear you up. They will say you got to flow. You got to float like water. If the wind blowing this way, just float on this way. Wind blowing that way, then just float on that way. Like, you just have to. We cannot worry about everything happens for a reason. Like I said, when you in nature, you see how everything flows in frequency and synchronicity and just flow with the trees and the grass, everything. That's how we have to be with life. We have to be in line with nature and life, man. We have to. Because you think about it. If you're trying to handle every situation in your life, how are you going to be able to make it through in order to be able to celebrate the things that you conquered? The more you try to control things in your life, the least likely you're going to have peace. You have to be able to just give it to God. And like, you know what? Lord, I can't handle this, huh? You can have it. And that's not easy. I done had several moments like that in my life. Like, Lord, I can't worry about it. I can't. Man, listen. All you can control is what you can control. Like a wise man once told me, once you do all you can do, that's all you can do. That's how it is. That's how life flows. You can only control certain things. God has everything happening around you in life for a reason, but you have to accept it. We have to. I wrote, celebrating yourself is imperative to encourage yourself to build yourself up, to tap into your Christ conscience. The biggest sin we commit in life is not accepting who God made you to be and not operating on your level and the frequency that's been made for you to operate on. Last, not least, speaking death on yourself, like he said. Let us make man in our image, likeness and darkness. And he looked at all of us when he created us and said, we are good. So celebrating yourself, pouring into yourself, and speaking what you want to see is honoring and showing gratitude for God, loving you with agape love. This is the type of love that we're supposed to have for ourselves. We're supposed to love ourselves and pour into ourselves in order for us to get into alignment, to understand what God's trying to tell us. It's not just going into the church on Sunday. No, he said, this is your temple. Our body, this is our temple. So you have to celebrate yourself. Let's celebrate. Thank you, Lord, for making me look like this. Thank you, Lord, for giving me ambition. Thank you, Lord, for giving me patience. Thank you, Lord. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like you're putting in the work, but you giving yourself a little dose of like, thank you. Okay, boom, I'm celebrating myself. Yes. That's the whole point of, I take birthday trips every year. So that's the whole point of my birthday trip. That's me celebrating myself like, hey, you doing good. And it's really also an apology to yourself for allowing yourself to go through things like that. You'd be like, you know what, I'm going to do better. Like I told you, when you go through traumatic situations, you man up, be like, hey, I'm on my grind mode now. I'm finna get a new house. I'm finna get a new car. I'm finna move to Peru. Like, you know what I'm saying? We be focused when we go through some traumatic stuff, man. Man, we be on go mode for real. We really do. But yes, we're supposed to love ourselves. How can you love God if you don't love yourself? We're made in his image. And he breathed his breath in us. How can you trust God but you don't trust yourself when we were made in his image? He breathed his breath in us, so we are with him. We are one with him. So if you're not loving yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, you're not resting, you're not celebrating yourself, you're not loving yourself as if you ain't the best thing out here walking. That's how you're supposed to love on yourself. You're supposed to know your worth and carry your head up high, chest out, be like, hey, this is my worth and this is my standard. Some folks call you bougie. I guess so. That's called elevation to me. You got to transform, can't stay the same. You got to continue to keep elevating. That's why it's so important to celebrate yourself. I do not like it when people say, I don't celebrate my birthday. Why? That's one day in this earth. Out of all these years, it's about you. That's your day. Because don't nobody else gonna care about you. So you got to celebrate your birthday. That's your day. That's one day God made out this world to put you into this earth. Thank you, Jesus. I'm finna appreciate myself. Yes, I'm turning up for the nation. I'm turning up for the worldwide, or the world, Craig, for the world. Like, for real, you have to love on yourself, man. You're supposed to celebrate every part of your existence. Even if you jump 10 points in your credit score, oh, snap, celebration, hey. I mean, I'm just saying, how hard you work for them 10 points, you're not going to celebrate it? Man, listen, you ain't got to post it and show everybody, but you can celebrate within yourself. You don't have to let everybody know your move and everything you got going on, but celebrate yourself, love on yourself. TikTok Everlasting Essential Element. I just finished celebrating my birthday. It was November 27th. I consider my birthday a national holiday. Oh, God. Man, I promise you. Big Gemini energy. When June 8th come around, the whole week. I'm off a whole week, baby. 5 days. Yeah. I'm celebrating a whole month, but I'm going out of town one weekend after month. Probably two, because we got the Father's Day. Oh, yeah. Father's Day trip be lit, too. I celebrate the whole month. Listen. It's like you said, a national holiday. That's how it's supposed to be. But you don't think that God loves that you loving on yourself? He wants you to be happy. He said we should live a more peaceful and a more abundant life. We're supposed to live a more abundant life. We should do greater things than what he did on this earth. So why would you not love yourself? Why would you not take care of yourself? It's okay. You should not have to address anybody, get permission to elevate. I don't care how close y'all is. You don't owe nobody explanation for elevating yourself. You don't owe nobody explanation for why you celebrating yourself. Only you and God know that journey. That's why God gave it to you. It's your journey. You don't owe nobody no explanation. If they get it, they did. If they don't, they don't. That's how you got to handle it. Man, listen. But yes, celebrating yourself is imperative to encourage yourself, to build up yourself, to tap into your Christ conscious. Yes. The biggest sin we commit in life is not accepting who God made you and not operating on that level and frequency that has been made to operate and last and not speak life into yourself. He said, and let us make man in our image. That's what it's all about, y'all. That's what it's all about. We got to love ourselves. When we start loving ourselves more and we look highly of ourselves more, we won't accept no BS. We won't. We won't accept no BS. Think about the bad situations. If you love yourself more, you would have walked right past. You wouldn't even much got in there. That's why I said we gotta love ourselves more. When you love yourself more, you know your worth. You know what you come with. You know what you bring, and you ain't question. You ain't moving off that pivot, 10 toes down. So with you knowing that, that's why I said it's so important that we love each other, because we are awake. We are awake when we love ourselves. We are more woke when we love ourselves. But it takes us going through something. Pain is the catalyst for change. You got to go through something. And it's not like you're becoming somebody. No, you're remembering who God made you to be the whole time. So with that being said, celebrate yourself. Love on yourself. Because you don't know when your last day is on this earth. And life is so short. And your day should be like everlasting essential element said on TikTok. It should be a national holiday. I don't care if you decide to go to the gym and hoop for your birthday. Hey, it's your birthday. You celebrate. That's what you want to do. But man, listen. Buy yourself something. Invest in yourself. Love on yourself. Buy something you always wanted to buy. Man, listen. My boys already know. When June hit, don't ask daddy for nothing. But they going to ask and I'm going to give it to them. But yeah, like, man, listen. Hey, I'm getting everything straight. What? Alright, tennis shoes coming in, clothes coming in. Yeah, celebrate yourself. Buy what you want. You work hard to. All we do is pay taxes. That's all we do. Pay high bills and pay taxes, man. Buy what you want. Love on yourself. Save up. Be financially responsible, but save up and do things for yourself. Love yourself. Every week you should be doing something. When you get paid, pay yourself. Do something for yourself. If you play video game, buy some VC for 2K. Buy some V-Bucks for Fortnite. Shoot, Robux for the, you know what I'm saying? Robux. If you game, that's what you do. Buy yourself a pair of tennis shoes, sneakerhead. You see what I'm saying? Buy you some clothes. Do something that's good for you. Even if you take yourself to get a fresh haircut or a fresh salon, get your nails done, and go get you some Starbucks or something. Man, love yourself. Love yourself. It's no bound. It should be no limits to what you are willing to do for yourself. And that's when it comes into when you're loving yourself like that, you're going to attract a person that's on the same journey you on. And when y'all come across each other, y'all going to link up. And when y'all link, man, listen, it's going to shoot off like magic all day. Because you loving yourself and you loving yourself. And that's the only way you can love somebody. What God says in the Bible, love others as you will love yourself, right? God said, love your wife as I love the church. You know how much love that is? You know how much unconditional agape love that is when you celebrate love and stuff like that in your life? When you celebrate stuff like that? Man, that's unconditional, unbiased. I love you. I love the ugly things about you. I love you 100%. Good and bad, up and down, in and out. But that's the whole point. When you're celebrating yourself and you're on that journey, that's when God starts opening doors for you. But you have to start loving yourself. You have to get in alignment with God. Caps on Facebook said, gotta treat yourself, life too short, just working and paying bills. Right. Man, I'm not finna work and pay bills and suck and die. No. I ain't doing that. I'm sorry, y'all. Hit F1. I can't do that. Right. Celebration is an everyday occurrence. Right. Exactly. Yes. You have to celebrate yourself every day. Buy yourself something. I mean, I don't care if you buying yourself some toothpicks or something. You want some toothpicks, buy yourself some toothpicks. If you want to buy that expensive toothpaste, be like, oh man, that's $10, but I got $10 I can spend. Yeah, go buy that $10 toothpaste. Yeah, let me know how your teeth be white after you buy it. Yeah. But that's just the point. That's what you like. It doesn't matter what it is. Just buy yourself something. Make yourself feel good. Buy yourself flowers. Not saying that you don't have nobody to do it for you, but buy yourself flowers. Do things for yourself. And when you're loving yourself and you being in that state, it's going to transcend to if you have somebody or you meeting somebody or you just met somebody, it's going to transcend. That's how you attract the person that's for you. That's how you attract your soulmate or your purpose partner. You have to love yourself, work on yourself, and get in alignment with God. I'm telling you. Yeah. That's the main thing. Because if you're not celebrating yourself, then what are you doing? You have to celebrate yourself, but you got to put in the work. I ain't say go to the club every weekend now. Don't be out there celebrating failure. I ain't talking about in the club every weekend. I'm talking about like when you making it through life situations and boom, man, I got a new job. Boom, I got a raise. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I got a new appliances. Who don't like a new washer and dryer? Alright. Who don't like a new kitchen, stove, and refrigerator? Alright. But we hate it when it go out, I promise you. But stuff like that, celebrate that. Because stuff ain't cheap, man. Celebrate yourself, man. If you want to get you a new stove or refrigerator, do it. Them bills gonna be there regardless. Right. Like Cap said on Facebook. Cap said them bills gonna be there regardless. Right. When you pass away, they gonna get a bill to your kids. But I rebuke that in the name of Yahweh. Because I ain't leaving my kids no bills. It's a will, it's a way. Thank you, Meech, for hitting F1. I be forgetting. But yo. So, yeah, celebrate yourself. My next passage, I said passage, right? Passage. My next passage I wrote was, the more we love ourselves, the more doors are unlocked. We tap into a frequency of what Yahweh was talking about. Will your faith make you whole? Will your faith make you whole? When you love yourself, you tap into that frequency of what Yahweh was talking about. Will your faith make you whole? He asked this question to the people he healed. So my question to you is, will you love yourself, honoring God's creation? When you love yourself, make you whole? If you loving on yourself correctly, the way we should, will that make you whole? Coming through situations in life, right? So you come into agreement with what God said about you. Does that make you whole? That's another good question. Does loving yourself correctly make you whole? And coming into agreement with what God said about you makes you whole? Does celebrating yourself for allowing God to use you for his glory, walking side by side, thought to thought, no matter how hard life makes it, does that make you whole? God keeping you through all of that stuff, making it to this point. Does that make you whole? So does loving yourself make you whole? What was the other one? Does coming to agreement with what God said about you, that's loving yourself through thoroughly, inside and out, your darkness and your lightness. You loving yourself. Is that going to make you whole? Or is you understanding that your foundation is in Christ and you're walking through life and you've tapped into your Christ consciousness where you're walking through life and you made it through all these situations and you know that God has been sitting there, he's been keeping you the whole time. You've been through all of that stuff. Is that going to make you feel whole? I think all three will make you feel whole because I think it just takes more than just one thing to make you whole. I think you have to accept who God says about you. You have to love yourself correctly. You have to celebrate yourself correctly. Because you do those three things, that means that you're agreeing with God, you're in alignment with him, what he says about you and what your calling is in your life and for you to tap into your purpose. So once you tap into your purpose, man, listen, you know how many doors are going to unlock for you? Just by you getting in alignment with him. A lot of times on this journey, guys, when you go on this journey, all of the social construct, the religious construct, all the things that you picked up along the way, oh, I like that, I'm going to do that when I get older. That ain't what God had for you. He going to make you strip all of that off. He going to strip all that off for you. And when you're walking on your journey, he is. Yeah. And you have to work on yourself. The strength and the weakness is getting worked on. I felt that the more I love myself, the more blessings come out. Yes, because you're accepting what God said about you. He said you're good, right? So how do you treat something that's good? How do you treat something that's good? You love it, right? You're a good steward of it. Ooh, that's a good one right there, y'all. Are you a good steward of yourself? Are you a good steward of yourself? God blessed you with beautiful hair. God blessed you with beautiful skin. He blessed you with beautiful teeth. He blessed you with a beautiful body. He blessed you with beautiful feet. Are you a good steward of what he blessed you with? He blessed you with a beautiful soul. Are you a good steward of what he blessed you with. So are you pouring into the things physically? Yeah, we all go to the gym. We all get on the health kicks and we all do all of that. But are you praying? Are you meditating? Are you pouring into yourself in high vibrational material so you can continue to keep elevating? To tap into another level. Because we all have room for improvement. We all do. When I joined your live, I didn't know I was going to be blessed with some words. And I appreciate that. This is Jews Word Podcast, Everlasting Essential Element. We're going to have uncomfortable conversations. We're going to talk about life, faith, and love. That's what we're going to talk about. That's what it's all about. And because what they say, deep conversation rule the nation, right? That's what we do. Deep conversation rule the nation. But yes, the more we love ourselves, the more doors we unlock. The more frequency we tap in. We tap into that Christ consciousness when we love ourselves. Because we're agreeing with what he said. So we're on the same mind wave and frequency as him. So we can walk thought to thought with him now once we agree with what he said about us. Now, that's when you on the journey. Now, that's when the journey starts. No matter what your past say. No matter what nobody say about you. No matter what you've done. Christ turned Saul. He was a Christian remover. He was a Christian remover. Yeah, I caught myself that time, y'all. He was a Christian remover. He was a Christian eraser. That's what he was. He came in and he erased you like a pencil. That's what he did. But if God can find grace in him and turn him into one of his disciples, man, what are we talking about? We serve the same God then than we do now. It's the same God. The same God. Did they say hold to his hand? God's unchanging. His hand don't change. It doesn't. We change because we get so caught up in the world. We change. We have to all take accountability and accept the things that we've done and we walked away from. Right. What you said, Mitch, what God said is finite. That's it. Period. Period. That's it. What God said is finite. So once you agree with what God said about you, your whole life gonna open up. You're going to break through that little plastic box of the matrix and you're going to be thinking outside the box. You ain't going to be blinded by this stuff that's going on in the world. You're not. You're not. Because you're going to be grounded more in faith. Like he said, build your house on a solid rock, a foundation. That's on him. Everything else is sinking sand. Man, you look around what's going around in the world. Look what's going on around in the world. And you can't hold on to nothing. Your job ain't secure. Your house ain't secure. Your car ain't secure. Ain't nothing secure but Christ. I'm just being 100. I'm just being 100 about it. Nothing in this life is secure but death and taxes. That's it. Yes. But when you think about it though, y'all, I got some more stuff, y'all. I ain't done yet. I got some more heat on over here cooking now. I told you this was on my mind all week, y'all. I was just taking little notes, You know how I go. You get it, you get it. Every accomplishment, every small victory is worth being celebrated. I celebrate my B-Day every year doing it big. We should all appreciate our B-Days every day when we're above the ground. We work hard every day. We make ends meet. We raise our kids. We stay on the job, 20 years of manual labor, opening your own business, taking the initiative to step out on faith with the risks that we take every day of life. You stepping out on faith despite no matter what's going on, to tap into your purpose or try to operate in your dream or try to build something to work for yourself or build an enterprise. No matter if you just got your EIN number. If you just got that, hey, that's a step of faith, right? You went and got your business license. Hey, that's a step of faith, right? Okay, hey, we celebrate every small victory. Yes. Yes. We should celebrate small victories more. We should. Because if you don't celebrate yourself, who's going to celebrate you? If you don't love yourself, who's going to love you? If don't nobody hype you up, who's going to hype you up? Don't they tell you when they want you have to be confident going on job interviews. You have to be confident walking through life. You have to be confident. And that unwavering confidence comes from accepting what God said about you. That's what it is. When you come into agreement with what God said about you, when he said he made us whole, lightness and darkness, and said we're good, and you understand that to the quantum level where it touches your soul, you be like, okay, you know what? We can't fail. We can't. He told us in the Bible we couldn't fail. But I encourage everybody to experience God outside of the 66 books in the Bible, though. Because back then, they didn't have a Bible. They had just had encounters with God. Like I go back to what I said. Is that not the same God that we serve now? Everybody's journey is not going to look the same. Everybody's encounter with God is not going to be the same. No matter what the church is trying to tell us or the religion is trying to tell us. It's not going to be the same. I can experience God right here, right now. Somebody can be laying in their bed, rubbing their Christian feet together and experience God. You see what I'm saying? Yes. What you said, Meech? Growth deserves acknowledgement. Yes, you are allowed to honor your progress. Yes. You are allowed to honor your progress. Yes. Progress should be celebrated. You are worthy. You are willing. You are able. You can. Who said you can't celebrate yourself? You should do that. Big Sam, what up, big homie? Yeah, man, you gotta celebrate yourself, man. Cause if you don't make life worth living while we going through all this on this earth, who's gonna make it for you? You gotta get out of your own way. You gotta love yourself. You gotta get out of your own way. We are our worst enemy. Anything that's beyond our parameter or we don't think we can do because of what they've told us we couldn't do, we scared to do it. What Cap said on Facebook, sometimes you gotta be what you don't have yourself. Exactly. Whatever you want. Now everybody can take a self-evaluation right quick. Whatever you want in life, your dream, whether it's your dream car, your dream house, your dream state, your dream job, your dream furniture, whatever. All of those things are attached to a frequency. You have to tap into that frequency to achieve those gifts, right? And those blessings, right? So you have to do deep work on yourself. You have to work on yourself to attach to gain those things that you want. Because it's more than just materialistic things. Let me say that. It's more than that. You can celebrate yourself for making it through a therapy session. You can make it through yourself that you got over an ex, a bad heartbreak. You can celebrate not doing nothing that you're going to regret later. Do so you ain't going to regret later and taking a high road. Celebration trains the nervous system to recognize growth instead of threat. Yes, when you celebrate yourself, your mind is picking up on it. You're seeing it. Your nervous system, everything is flowing like, okay, I like this feeling. So now I'm going to use myself for example. I've started going on birthday trips, right? So now my nervous system knows when it's time to go on another birthday trip. Because you know it's time to go out of town. You notice how you be like, man, I'm so ready to go. I got 4 days. Oh my God, man. Oh, like you be doing all that, ready to go out of town when you waiting on that trip. Then your nervous system is anticipating because your nervous system is going to be like an alarm clock. Yo, I promise you, it's like an alarm clock. My body tells me, my soul tells me, this is no cap. It tells me when it's time for me to take another vacation. I be like, oh, it's about that time again, big dog. Birthday, Father's Day trip. Hey. You creating new neurological pathways, yes. Every time you speak life into yourself, anytime you do that thing and you do things to make you peaceful, you do things to celebrate yourself, it makes a nice area in your neurological pathways to let you know, hey, this is good because you're at your best. I said it last year. I told Meech, I was like, shoot, I want to be the person I am when I'm on vacation every day the rest of my life. That's what I want to be. Yes. The brain remembers what we celebrate. Yes. So instead of remembering or romanticizing those dark times when you went through hard times and bad times and good times, start making new memories. Make new neurological pathways. Neurological pathways. Yeah, I got it right, y'all. New neurological pathways. That way you can start having a relapse in peace. You see what I'm saying? You start being like, man, what's wrong? I want to go back out of town again. I'd rather have that than say, man, I can't wait to get over this person. You see what I'm saying? I'd rather have a relapse of peace because I'm ready to go back out of town again, man. What? I'm trying to hit the friendly skies. Boom. That's what I'm trying to hear. I don't know about y'all, but I'm just saying. When you celebrate yourself, no matter what it is, you start creating those neurological pathways like women when y'all go get waxed. Y'all be getting them waxes, but y'all be like, man, I got to get this waxed. I got to get this removed. It's like y'all get y'all nails and toes done. Y'all know when y'all got to go back get them. Neurological pathway says, I'm going to be my best. I'm going to be the baddest if I get my toes and my nails done. Can't nobody tell me nothing. So it's like us when we get that fresh. Y'all remember we get that fresh edge up? What? Whew, that fresh line up, man. Gotta have that line up before you go anywhere. I ain't going out the house. If I don't get no haircut, I ain't going nowhere. That's the neurological pathways. I can't be seen if I ain't got no fresh edge up. You create the neurological pathways. That's what you create. You really do. Yeah. But those are forms of celebration. Anything you do for yourself to point to yourself is to be celebrated. Everything. Hey, I made it my 5-year anniversary. I made it off of probation. I ain't got to pee in the cup no more. Hey, that's a celebration right there in itself. Celebration is speaking well of myself. It's honor, right? When you're celebrating yourself and you're speaking life into yourself, it's not just speaking life. It's how you carry yourself, your thoughts. It's how you breathe, how you interact with people. If you always walk around with an attitude, that ain't going to do you no good. That's speaking death on you. You got to have a positive attitude. You got to open up. That's why I'm sweating this Father's Day trip. Man, it's going to be cool, bro. Don't sweat, bro. God got that, Cam. Cap said he's sweating. He worried about our Father's Day trip. Listen, Caps, hey, God got it, bro. What's going to happen, going to happen. And to let the chips fall where they may. You can't worry about what you can't control. I just told you that. You cannot worry about what you cannot control, y'all. We can't do that. Yes, congratulations. Just say it to yourself, feels good. Yes. Yes. No worries. Congratulate yourself. You can't worry about tomorrow with today's problems. How? We all have issues throughout the day. We have things that we go through in our head that we have to work through. So how can you fix your issues for the day and be your best version to live in the moment if you're worried about 5 months from now? Almost 5, 4, 3, whatever. But you get what I'm saying, bro. Y'all get what I'm saying. We're not going to worry about nothing. We leaving that worrying in 2025. If you worrying and stressing about something, we're going to leave that in 2025. It is how many days to the end of the year? Listen, we lock in. We are locked in. Oh, you said you can't wait till we go. Oh, okay. He said he can't wait till we go. He ain't worried about it. He just ready to go. Right. I'd rather have that worry right there. Man, I can't wait till we go. That's what I'm talking about. But we do an annual Father's Day trip every year because fathers, husbands, baby daddies, whoever, like our crew, we celebrate ourselves because we don't feel like as black men we're celebrated enough. So we create our own little thing where we go out of town every year for Father's Day. And me and my crew, we go out of town. I do my birthday trip, then I do my Father's Day trip with my guys. So we do that. That's celebrating ourselves. That's creating new neurological pathways. That cancels out stress. It cancels out dis-ease because dis-ease causes disease. You get what I'm saying? Y'all call that? Dis-ease. When you dis-ease, you always uncomfortable, you stress, you worry. That will cause a disease. That's how we get sick. That's how we get, a lot of horrible things. Health-wise, it's stress. Stress will get you out of here. Yes, Black Boy Joy. Yes, that's what it's called, Black Boy Joy. We experienced that Black Boy Joy. Hey, we need to put that on the shirt, fellas. Hey, y'all put that down. Hey, we need to put that on the shirt. But yes, you should always celebrate yourself. No matter what the world say, no matter what whoever says about, well, why y'all doing this or why y'all doing, they doing all that, man, listen. Ignore the hype. Focus on yourself. Build your community. Build your tribe. If your circle is not encouraging you on your purpose, they're not loving you unconditionally, they're not pushing you to be a better version of yourself, then what are you doing? That's not a circle. What Nipsey said, that's a cage. Y'all should be talking about making trips, making money, making investments, starting businesses, not talking about what happened at the club last night, why they got did, this, that. You know what I'm saying? When you're, how can I say it? When you elevate, you don't think about the same things anymore. No, I don't. What? Put that on the shirt. Don't put that on the shirt. Me told me don't put it on the shirt. But yes, but when you're going through stuff, man, you have to really pay attention to things because when you're on your journey and I know it's yours. I ain't gonna do that. Forget I said that, Caps. Forget I said that. I was just talking, bro. I wasn't serious. When you're going through life, you have to really look at the things that you've been through and how you try to celebrate yourself. Because you got to understand, too, when you create a neurological pathway, it's what it says in the Bible. Every time I try to do right, wrong is always present, right? So if wrong is always present, then if darkness is always present, you're going to have a little opposition. You're going to have some distractions. So all of that stuff is going to try to throw off your celebration, your joy, anything that you're working on. So you're going to have opposition. So you have to learn how to celebrate yourself, even in the storm. Yeah, I might not be where I want to be, but thank God where I'm at. Celebrate that. Hey, I got me an apartment. I ain't on the street. Hey, I'm good. I got a car. I ain't on a bus. Hey, I'm good. Always remember, when you celebrate yourself, there's always somebody who has something worse than you. They're in a worse situation than you. They wish they was in your place. So always appreciate the small thing. Be a good steward. Be gracious. Be grateful for everything that you have, wherever you are. The more gratitude you show God is, the more he's going to elevate you to allow you to celebrate yourself. But you have to show gratitude. You have to. There's no other way around it. If it was, man, listen, it would be one messed up place. I'm telling you. Everything happens for a reason. Like I told y'all, everything flows. It's a synchronicity. You got to flow like water through life. Be like water. You got to flow like water. Be like water. Because if you don't, you're going to be going against the current. And you know what happens when you go against the current? You're going to capsize. Go to the bottom. Flow. God got you going down that deep, dark pathway. Head on and face on. Face fear. Conquer it. Conquer it. No matter how hard it is. Speak life into yourself. Speak life into your kids. Speak life into your tribe. Speak life into your community. Y'all meditate together. Y'all pray together. Y'all do all that stuff. Y'all tell each other y'all love each other. Girl groups, men groups, everything. Man, y'all love each other. Love yourself. Y'all have to. That's the only way you're going to make it through this life, to be able to celebrate accomplishments, because the only way to make it to that next level, you got to have a team. You can't make it to the next level by yourself. Think about the lame man who was in the Bible. His friends, he had 4 friends, and they broke the roof open to put him on the roof so he can get healed by Jesus, right? So it took a team for him to elevate. He elevated, he got up, and he walked on. But his faith made him whole. Only way it worked is if they already believed that they could be healed. That's why he says, does thy faith make thy whole? So your faith goes a long way when you're going through any storm in life. You got to hold on to it. Find a silver lining. And when you make it through a storm, celebrate yourself. Even if you ain't made it out yet, celebrate yourself, no matter what's going on. Celebrating yourself is agreeing with what God already said about you. Yes. You celebrating yourself is coming to agreement with what God said about you. He said you are good. He made us lightness and darkness and made us whole. He said you are good. So he said, let's make a creation. Let's make them in our image. And they looked at the creation and said, good. He made your darkness. You have to accept yourself. You have to sit with yourself and understand what's wrong in order to understand the trauma that you experienced through life, to get to the bottom of that in order to unravel all of that and deal with it. Journal. Go for a walk. Have a conversation with somebody who wronged you in the past. But you have to forgive. You're not going to forget, but you have to forgive. And when you forgive, it's not forgiving them. It's forgiving yourself, allowing you to be in that situation. See what I'm saying? So yeah, very important. Yes, destiny helpers. Yes. You have to have destiny helpers to make it in your new journey. 2026 coming up. Y'all better be able to recognize who y'all destiny helpers is and who good for you, who ain't good for you. 2025 is ending. We have no time for fake, fugazi, lame, backbiting, messy. We don't have time for none of that negativity. You need to be around a positive environment, trying to elevate. This is the year and the season of the Great Awakening, guys. You got to wake up. You got to. There's no other way around it. You got to wake up. And when you wake up, you'll realize things are not as what they seem. And once you put them glasses on, you can't take them off. You can't take them off at all. The veil is going to be lifted. But like I said, you have to accept what God said about you. That's step one. Seek ye the kingdom of God. Seek ye the kingdom of God, baby. Yeah. Seek him. We all need him. I ain't even count. But yes, every accomplishment, every small victory is worth being celebrated. I celebrate my B-Day every year doing it big. We should all appreciate our B-Days. And even every day that we're above the ground, working hard, making ends meet, raising our kids, staying on the job 20 years of manual labor, opening your own business, taking the initiative to step out on faith with the risk that we take every day in life. There's a lot of faith we express and a lot of energy throughout life. And we need that. We need that. We need that. Pressure makes diamond. What you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew? Closing statement. You are worthy. You are abundant. You are blessed beyond measures. There's always someone who has it worth. So celebrate yourself. Celebrate your circle that's pushed you into your refined version of yourself. If your circle does not push you to your refined version of yourself, even if they don't fully understand, if they can't support you in your journey spiritually, then they're not your friends. They're not. If they can't understand that, hey, he's going through his own spiritual awakening, let me be here for him. If they can't, even if they just want to be there, like, if they don't understand, they just don't. And it's okay, because everybody can't go with you to the next level. They cannot. They can't. You can't make somebody go with you. God sees fit that they not go with you, and he knows why. You don't know, but he knows why. And in due time, he will show you why. But right now, when he say move, you got to move. You're going to do it voluntarily or involuntarily. That's what it is. It's very important that we celebrate ourselves, y'all. You know how much somebody calling you or texting you happy birthday mean to you? Everybody, you know, we get birthday text messages. Be like, oh man, everybody text me happy birthday this morning. Everybody called me this morning. You know, that means something, right? So we love being celebrated by others. We don't like celebrating for ourselves. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. We got to do better with that. Elevation creates separation. Yes. When you're elevating and you're creating, it's creating separation for you because you're coming to agreement with what God said. Once you get in alignment with what he has for you, you get out of alignment with all of the foolishness that's around you. So a lot of things are going to change. A lot of people won't understand because it's your journey. It might look crazy to them. It might look crazy. It might look wild. I don't know what they're going through. They acting weird. Hey, and I'll be weird. That's how you got to be sometimes. I'm telling you, when God puts you on this journey, he's going to isolate you. Pain is the catalyst for change. You're not becoming, you're remembering who you are already. God already made you. He put everything in you that you need when you were born. So it's really just, you're just waking up from being put to sleep by when you were born, your name, and you know, so on and so on, et cetera, et cetera. But you have to really believe in yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself in a way that way is honoring God and you doing so. Do the things that make you happy. Go to places that make you smile. Be around people that celebrate you and not tolerate you. That was a big one because I had to learn that, y'all. Go where you celebrate it, not where you tolerate it. Man, listen. And we all had some tolerable situations before in our life. But yes, celebrate yourself. Keep doing that. Celebrate your love look good on you. They be like, oh, she glowing. Yeah, she glowing. Oh, man, he glowing. Hey, you glowing. When you love on yourself and you work on yourself spiritually, everything else going to fall in place. Seek ye the kingdom of God. That's all I got to tell you. Honoring myself is honoring the Creator. Right. When you honor yourself, you honor God. You are his creation. So if you looking at yourself like, man, I'm lame. That's like slapping God in the face. Like, you got to think you are the cream of the crop. And you got to put in the work to show that you're the cream of the crop. Whether it's work to yourself. You don't owe nobody else no explanation showing them nothing, but you got to show yourself. Only person that matters in your journey is you and God. That's it. That's it. That is it. Because if you don't love yourself and you don't pour to yourself, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to save you. Right. Creme de la creme, homie. What T.I. said. Creme de la creme, homie. Top shelf, you know. I like my beat down low. Alright, we ain't getting into that. But yeah. That's what I'm saying. You got to think you the creme of the creme. Creme de la creme. Top shelf. You got to look at yourself like that. That's the more highly you honor yourself is you honoring God. You are. No. He didn't make you to be sitting over here depressed, talking about I'm fat, I'm ugly. He ain't made you to do that. What? God made all of us unique the way he made us for a reason. Yeah, treat yourself as an extension of God. Right, Caps? Right. Cap said, treat yourself like an extension of God. You are an extension of God. You're one with God because you got his breath and you got his soul. We have a living soul. He breathes his breath in us. We're made in his image. We all are. So treat yourself like that. If you don't feel like you look better than the next person standing next to you and you feel like, man, I'm confident in myself. I don't care who in front of me. I don't care if I'm in the same room with Chris Brown, my confidence ain't shaking. That's how you got to be. Like, for real. I stand next to Lawrence Tate. I don't even much care. Hey, but that's how confident you got to be in yourself. Yes, we celebrate ourselves, we celebrate others. Yes. You should celebrate yourself. You should celebrate your tribe, your community, your family, La Familia. You should celebrate those things because life is so short. You never know when somebody's last day is. You need to give them their flowers and you need to enjoy life. Sometimes we get in our own way. The biggest thing we need to learn how to do, people, is live in the moment. Yeah, that's right. Oh, not Tate. Man, I sat next to Lorenz and Tate next to him. I don't even much care. I still be right there. Still be over there. Lorenz and Tate and all. Man, listen. But yeah, that's how confident you got to be yourself. That's how much you got to love yourself. Women, y'all got to love yourself enough that y'all can sit next to Beyonce and not be intimidated and stargazed. I promise you. You can't be starstruck. You got to be able to stand next to them, your 10 toes, and make them look at you. That's how confidence you got to have. It got to be that crazy for real. It got to be like that. It got to. Yeah. You got to. Because if you can't do that, then you'll never make it to where you're trying to go. That means anybody with power that's higher than you, they intimidate you. Tate and Chris Brown put their pants on one leg at a time like I do. Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, I dap them up and be like, hey, y'all, Chris Brown. I'm gonna help y'all get an autograph. I'm gonna help y'all get an autograph. I ain't gonna hate on, hey, Breezy. They gonna get that picture, big dog. Hey, girls, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be able to celebrate yourself. You gotta be able to walk in the room with anybody, anywhere, on any level, and still be confident in yourself. And not, he put his pants on like you do. You can't be intimidated on this journey. You have to stand 10 toes, no matter where you are. Whether you feel like you belong or not, you should always feel like you belong. You should feel like you should always walk in the room like you own it. You should always walk in the room and have confidence in yourself when you shift the atmosphere. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. You really should. You should walk anywhere, any room, any job, any place, no matter what you side of town you on, whether you in Hoover or you in the hood, you should walk in that mud like you own it. Confidence exudes. Confidence. You can't walk on this walk with God if you're not confident in yourself. You cannot. You have to be confident. You have to be confident. You have to. Yeah, shake the atmosphere. I'm shaking the atmosphere when I walk in the room. My head held high. You gonna feel that aura. Man, what? Man, I'm God's son. Y'all better sit down somewhere. You know who y'all playing with? Alright, that's how confident we gotta be in ourselves. That's how we gotta love ourselves, man. You can't be worried about who popular, who not, who got this amount of money. I don't care if I'm in a room with a billionaire, I'm still gonna be me. I don't care if I walk in there with a billionaire, I'm still gonna be me. Chin up. I know when I walk around, I change the energy for the better. Right, exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. Yes, you're supposed to. Yes, when you walk in the room, your energy should change the room for the better. It should disrupt the room. It should make you be like, dang, God. They got to look around and make them, because they're going to feel your energy, yes. Chin up, chest out. Let's go. That's how you got to walk through life. That's why I say celebrate yourself, man. Man, listen. If you went, I don't care if you took a bus ride to the Grand Canyon and it took you 12 days to get there. You made it though, didn't you? That's a celebration. You made it. But the thing about it, you just took the scenic route. You just took the scenic route. That's all you did. You took the scenic route. Yeah, it took you 12 hours to get there, but how many states you seen in between you getting there? Prone to just being in the air. Look how much you've seen. Look how many details you've seen. You've seen areas of regions of the world. God, I know I'd have been places where y'all done been in places where y'all have seen the region. Like when I went to Vegas and did the four-wheeling. Man, being out there in the desert on a four-wheeler, it's just like, when you see the desert in person, you just like, my God, this is so beautiful. Like you zone out like, man, like, and seeing them mountains on that four-wheeler, man, I think I was looking at my spiritual lens on my third eye, but man, that was the most beautiful sight I've ever seen in my life. I felt my whole spirit just be taking over. Like, all I could say was thank you, Lord, when I was on that four-wheeler, man. Man, listen. Y'all know I'm be transparent about a spiritual encounter. Hey, I'm just saying. All you can say is thank you, Lord. I done made it to Vegas. A little boy from West End, Alabama. Man, listen, all the way in Vegas. Listen, I've been dreaming about this my whole life, y'all. The imaginations that we have, that you had as a child, how you want your life to be, hold on to those. They told us to get rid of them, but that's the worst thing you could ever do. Your imagination is your manifestation as a child. That's your visions that God gives you to show you what He has for you. But you have to just get in alignment with Him. But a lot of us always go off track. But yeah, never lose your imagination, y'all. Never lose your imagination. Speak life. Speak life. Speak life, guys. Speak life. What Cam said, what it said, the lyric in the song said, Princess of the universe, I am immortal. I have inside of my blood kings. I have no rival. No man can be my equal. Yeah, Cam. Whoever that is, that's a good bar. But you got to be open-minded to receive that bar, though. To understand somebody saying, I am immortal. I have inside my blood of kings. I have no rival. No man can be my equal. When they saying language like that, they're very awakened. Very awakened. So, yeah. But you got to be open-minded for them to receive that, Cam. Everybody might not get that. They're like, this boy over here putting crazy talk on the wall. Stoned him. But yes, love yourself. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your endurance. Celebrate your weekend when you've been grinding all week and you've had like a rough time. The kids been sick, you having to clean up, you having to do school, you having to do work, you having to get your life together when it comes to family, when it comes to whomever. Like, we disperse so much of our energy out. We disperse so much of our energy out in situations that we don't even have to. We take on the world like it's our problem. It's not. That's our problem. That's identity, right? Right. So we can't take on everybody's problems. It's not our job to handle certain things. That's why I say, like, we have to get out of our own way in order to get on the journey and work on ourselves and then celebrate ourselves for the progress we make. You're going to celebrate progress regardless, but you have to celebrate yourself in a way that one part of your season, you might just celebrate yourself by doing more spiritual journey work, spiritual celebrations, and doing things like, man, that's cool, because it's going to transcend into your real life. But celebrate yourself. Man, listen, I was at the AEA meetings. I'm 3 months clean. Celebration. You should celebrate yourself when you've come from addiction in households. You've come from alcoholism in households. You've come from drug addiction in households. You've come from abusive relationships in households, verbal abusive, mental abusive, physically abusive, and you turned out to be a complete opposite of that. You should celebrate yourself. But I say everybody's going through something worse than what we're going through. There's always somebody going through something worse. You been homeless. You was homeless for 3 years, but now you on your feet, you got you a job, you got your car, got your house. Well, I don't care if you working at McDonald's. I don't care if you riding a Neo Geo. I don't care if you stay in Southtown Projects. You got a space. You got a roof over your head. You got a car that you can drive, and you got money coming in. You should celebrate that. I think people are so judgmental now that they feel like, oh, you can't celebrate because you ain't doing enough. No, you can celebrate anything. Man, you want to celebrate buying yourself a brand new toaster, then do that. But it's all about loving yourself. It's all about loving yourself in the way that you honoring God. And that's how it's going to flow. Because when you're loving yourself, you're showing gratitude to yourself. And God honors when you loving yourself, you love yourself, you loving God. What he said. He breathed his life in us, right? We're made in his image, right? So how can we love God but not love ourselves? How can we trust God but not trust ourselves? We are made in his image. So, guys, celebrate yourself. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you guys tapping into episode 41 on Juice Word Podcast. I appreciate it. January 11th will be a year for me doing this podcast, so I will have a year show. I will have a show for a year anniversary, quote unquote year anniversary, so y'all stay tuned. Y'all share the live, y'all tap the screen, give me y'all algorithms, y'all can continue to get these gems that I'm dropping. I appreciate all y'all, man. It's been a beautiful journey. I'm growing with you guys. I'm giving y'all gems, and I'm healing myself in the midst of what all us healing together. So if you're a part of my community, I appreciate you. I love you. God bless you, all right? One love.